Ben Shapiro. Here, just go zoom in on Ben Shapiro's thing here first. Here's Ben Shapiro. This is, I'm not sure, Tom, if you're aware of who he is, but he is the
aware
pillar of the conservative intellect in the country.
I got a whole sidebar on Ben Shapiro if you want it.
I do. Let's do this video. Let's talk about this first, and then I want to hear the sidebar. But Ben Shapiro went on to say, "Oh my God, OMG." He's really down with the kids. He's younger.
He's younger. He's the cool
younger.
kid
So
hip philosopher, was it? I forget what the Times said.
And OMG. The guy who owns Equinox favors, I'm surprised he didn't say faves, but whatever. Equinox favors a candidate half the country doesn't like. The only solution is politically segregated gyms. Surely that will be good for the country. And the idea is that somehow, like, you've politicized everything. Is it Equinox all around the country or just in New York?
That's a good
I think
question.
it's all over.
I don't know.
We're all such coastal elites. We don't even know the answer to that.
Right.
Also, not to be pedantic to the cool kids philosopher, but it's more than half the country that doesn't like Trump.
Right, indeed.
Yeah, that was a little bit of finesse he had there.
And Cody Johnston
Of Some More News.
of Some More News fame on YouTube just wrote back Ben, period, and retweeted Ben Shapiro tweeting, "I canceled my Sports Illustrated subscription after 16 years last year because of the leftist politics." And so Ben Shapiro, this guy is too sharp. You can't get away with this. Sorry, Cody. He writes back, "I'm sorry, you're too stupid to recognize the basic difference between canceling a magazine because of the content of the magazine," that would be the leftist politics in the magazine, presumably, "and canceling a membership to a gym where I like everything but the owner happens to donate to a politician I don't like." So the idea being...
Why is he deplatforming Sports Illustrated from his mailbox?
Well, he's deplatforming Sports Illustrated, but the reason is because he doesn't like the content. He would never, for instance, say, "I'm going to stop my doing business with you in whatever capacity I'm doing business because of a political opinion or action that you have that has nothing to do with my business." That's what he's saying, Cody.
Yeah.
You're so
the
stupid.
basic difference.
Yeah, it's very basic stuff.
It's a clear distinction.
And then Cody tries to shoot back with, "Hi, my good friend Ben Shapiro, who has not muted me, and thus everyone knows that you're reading this. Just thought I'd pop in to remind you of the times you organized boycotts against Mozilla and Ritz Crackers, despite having no issue with the quality or content of their products. And here's a story. Ben Shapiro's website protests Mozilla after co-founder's resignation over Prop 8. That's weird. That seems somewhat inconsistent with the point that Ben just made.
Yeah, was Mozilla's content get into Prop 80 or something?
Yeah.
Too anti-Prop 80.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because you know that some of the HTML I heard at that point, like if you tried to bold anything on your website, it would just immediately redirect you to an anti-Prop 8 site. And then, of course, there was this. Who could forget this? I think just about everybody, because it was insane. Almost 20 years ago, Al Sharpton referred to Caucasians as crackers while speaking at Keene College. And this is from Time magazine. So, of course, nearly 2 decades later, conservative activists have called for a boycott of Ritz Crackers, which advertises on Sharpton's MSNBC show. Sharpton doesn't dislike all crackers. Boycott leader and Breitbart news editor Ben Shapiro writes on the Truth Revolt website.
This is almost like an ad for Ritz Crackers.
So when was this? When was this boycott?
Well, if he was
tested,
at Breitbart,
approved.
this would have been probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. So I'm just trying to subtract 20 years plus however many other years from Ben Shapiro's age.
Hashtag not all crackers.
How long he's been carrying this grudge around.
2013.
How long he's been sitting there with
This is from 2013?
The Ritz Crackers, yeah.
So it would have been 93 is when Sharpton referred to
so
Caucasians
almost
as
20
crackers.
years. So it would have been 94 maybe.
How old is Shapiro?
Well, he's not as young as he is marketed as, right?
Do we know how old he is?
But I really am curious at what age he would have us believe that he tucked his grievance about
35.
Oh, he's 35.
Oh my God, he's older than me, lol. That's funny.
So 35, that would have placed him, how old would he have been in 93?
About 9, 10.
Now, it's very possible his mom said, here, Ben, here's a cracker, just like what Al Sharpton called us.
Could be. I mean, it's old enough to be politically aware.
And he could have been like, damn it, someday.
He was streaming on YouTube, I think, like about 3 years after that.
Yeah, that's right. That's what's inspired him. What is the sidebar?
The sidebar is just like, I don't know. He's managed to keep himself in the discourse. I just feel like if you like run like a Twitter search on his sort of basic like positions on race, it's disgusting to me that this guy's even at the table. Like I've given up on like, I resist the urge to even dunk on him on Twitter when he says stupid stuff because I don't want to engage with him on that level. I just feel like this is a guy who's like, called Ferguson a hoax. not the contested details of Michael Brown's shooting were a hoax, but like Ferguson was a race hoax. Skip Gates was a race hoax. Go to hell. Like
Right.
I don't need to hear from you, kid.
I do like it though when somebody owns him and shows that his, cool kids philosopher, I'm talking really fast, therefore I'm smart, intellectual framework is completely a lie.
Yeah, he's a dope.
Well, speaking as someone who does engage him on that level on occasion, the important thing is that you make it difficult for people like the New York Times to write something like that about him. Like I don't care about Ben Shapiro at all as a human being or as any entity. If he was, I'd be perfectly happy to have him sitting in his apartment saying this stuff or at the wherever he wants. But as public discourse, the idea is to sort of make sure that he is not promoted by what is considered mainstream.
Right. It's just when the Times does it, in addition to recognizing that he's an idiot, that I wish they would just like recognize that he has, a history of being the straight out racist, and in a way that's like not sort of, it's not even like sort of Tucker Carlson level cuteness. It's just like,
Yeah, he called Colin Powell, I saw in an old tweet, called Colin Powell an affirmative action, hire, basically.
oof. Yeah, that's like pretty rancid.